TikToks that feel illegal to watch. Are you ready? Are you ready? Let's go!
Disclaimer: this video is for entertainment purposes only. Please do your own research, as these clips haven't been fact-checked.
You said Jeffrey Epstein committed suicide. People don't believe it.
Well, I mean, listen, they have a right to their opinion, but as someone who has worked as a public defender, as a prosecutor, who's been in that prison system, who's been in the Metropolitan Detention Center, who's been in segregated housing, you know a suicide when you see one, and that's what that was.
He killed himself. You want me to get, I've seen the whole file. He killed himself.
Let me know how you feel about this in the comment.
We just got new exhibits today. Take a look at these photos that prosecutors have just released. They're pictures of Diddy's former girlfriend, Cassie Ventura, with what she says are bruises on her back and legs, which you can see here, and also a gash above her eye. Also released today some pictures from when Diddy was arrested in September of last year at the Park Hyatt Hotel in New York. And a special agent with Homeland Security testified last week that some of the items found included baby oil, drugs, these pink packets of ketamine. There's also this image of a knife wedged in a door. Now, Combs, we aren't sure if he's going to be taking a stand in his own defense, but he denies all of the allegations against him. But will all of these witnesses really prove the government's charges that he was running this criminal empire and that he's guilty of sex trafficking?
Johnson & Johnson needs to be on trial because it should be illegal to buy, more than one bottle of baby oil per decade.
If you could just imagine yourself in your apartment, you're wanting to go get something to eat. And you say, I'm going to walk down there to the fried chicken place. I'm going to go get some fried chicken. So you exit your apartment, you walk down the sidewalk, and within 100 yards you see some police lights, and there's a crash scene. There's a horrible, horrible scene there. Let's say you see a mom holding her little daughter who's passed away and she's bleeding, and the mom is crying and screaming and all of this, and the first thought in your head while you're looking at the scene is fried chicken.
What?
I'm gonna get that fried chicken. And then turning right to the restaurant and go pick up your food, getting back to the apartment, eating your chicken, and then after you brush your teeth that night, you're in the looking at yourself in the mirror going, trying to mimic all of those faces that you saw on the street from all the grief and sadness and despair. You're just staring at yourself, doing that in the mirror to practice those facial expressions. That's what a psychopath.
This is such a pop culture view of a psychopath.
She thought she had mold on her ring. This is the first piece of jewelry she's ever owned, and it's her engagement ring. I guess she got it like 4 or 5 years ago, and said that she had no idea that you can even clean a ring because of the diamonds. She didn't want it to fall out or anything like that, so she literally never takes it off. And I guess she was doing something, and then she saw that there was like black spots on it, and she thought it was mold. And I just explained to her it could be built up from lotion and any oils and that type of thing. She felt much better, but she was freaking out. She thought her ring was ruined.
She didn't know she could clean a ring? Bro behaves like he's married.
One girl online that's like going viral because she's talking about how she slept with 100 guys in one day, and now her new goal is 1,000 guys in one day. She's got the shock factor. She's getting a lot of attention. She's getting a level of fame from this. But the cost of what she's having to do for that fame is her choice to make. Finding a guy to date after that it's gonna be real fucking difficult. It's gonna be real hard to get anybody to look at you like you have any kind of sense or like respect about you after you do some shit like that. When people realize that the money isn't enough and the fame isn't enough, they're left to sit there and deal with all the shit that they didn't think would happen. A lot of people get blinded by the opportunity. They see a chance at money. They see a chance at fame. They're like, oh my God, and they'll do anything for it. When you pay the price of yourself for fame or money, you will never, ever feel good once you get it. Ever. If you give up yourself, your integrity, your morals, your everything for success or fame,
future relationship, future job opportunities, future kids, family relationship, all that is gone for her.
Self-sabotage isn't random. It's a frequency problem. When you start to level up, when you stretch beyond your old identity, your nervous system panics, not because you're broken, but because growth feels unsafe to a body that's used to surviving, not thriving. So what happens? You procrastinate, you ghost opportunities, you attract drama, you fall back into old habits. Not because you don't want it, but because your energy is still tethered to the old you. Here's the shift. The next time you catch yourself sabotaging, don't shame yourself. Don't spiral. Pause, breathe, recognize this is just old survival energy trying to keep me small. And choose differently even if it feels uncomfortable. Because healing isn't about being fearless. It's about moving forward while your body still remembers fear. That's how you rewire your destiny.
Too many people forget to pray.
The woman disappeared after swimming in this cave, but 3 years later, the police found her in an incredible state that will fill you with terror. Julie was passionate about diving, but she didn't know this passion would turn into the worst nightmare of her life. At first, she swam in safe, protected areas, but one day she decided to venture out and explore a closed and forbidden cave. Her friends warned her about the danger of the idea, but she insisted on going. That decision was the biggest mistake of her life. Julia dove into the waters of the cave but never came out. Days passed, and her family was heartbroken, especially when they found her car parked in the same place she had left it. The police launched a search operation, but there was no trace of her. 3 years later, her father received a shocking call from the police. They had finally found Julia, but she was no longer the same woman they knew. She had become something strange and terrifying. And what she told them about what she saw inside the cave was so horrifying. It was hard to believe. Comment cave for the second part.
What a joke. How did she survive underwater for 3 years?
It now takes China 77 seconds to make a car.
77 seconds?
So in this factory, the Xiaomi SU7 is sold for about $30,000. And it takes 77 seconds to make. What the shit?
I don't buy it. You mean it takes 77 seconds to assemble a car?
This was a man who filmed himself setting fire to the Bible. He has now been found shot dead in Brazil. Antonio Rocha de Sousa set fire to the Bible while saying he doesn't believe in God and that religion is just a way to enslave and manipulate people. Just 10 days after he shared the video, he was found shot dead. Police are now treating it as a murder. The authorities say Antonio was shot on a rural street, but other reports say locals found his body in his home where he lived alone and called the police straight away. Police say he had previous convictions of intentional bodily harm and are looking into all possibilities.
I get it, you don't believe it, but why burn it?
You don't get out with the lions.
Yeah, it's the job. As I said, we had to show the locals how to do this.
Oh my God.
They don't do this.
I can't believe what I'm seeing here.
So, this one here.
Oh, Jesus. Oh my God.
Get off there. Hey, stop.
Mate, are you all right there?
Yeah. Hey, Donald Trump.
Donald Trump.
Donald Trump.
He says lions don't know about politics. Hey.
Oh
Stop
my God.
Stop it. Look, and this is what you call total control.
Did he just grab?
Oh my God.
Hey, come on, get away. Come on,
Yes,
get away.
smack
Mate, I can't.
the lion.
Get away. Shut up. Get away. Go on.
I think she likes that.
Because
This gets, I always tell people it's holy water. Gets rid of all the parasites, except the tax man.
So this is Big George?
This is Big George. Now most lions in this environment weigh about 250 kilos. George weighs 300.
Oh my God.
Look, this one's scared of spiders, look. Spiders, spiders, spiders. Good boy. Wow. Good boy, George.
Look how amazing he is.
Can you feel that hot, smelly breath? Because normally that's the last thing you feel. Be careful.
Oh, wow.
George, he's after the...
Look at his paws.
He's after the fluffy.
He's after my mic. Mate, I've got to say, I cannot believe that all these lions are here and then you're just stood outside.
They don't eat English people because we eat too much curry.
And he's joking about it.
Nowadays.
Oh, wow. Whoa. Jesus, you wouldn't want to mess with him, would you?
No, you wouldn't stand a chance. So every time you get out of the car, it is always dangerous.
Really?
You can't run from these things. They cover 100 meters in 6 seconds. The fastest man is Usain Bolt, 9 seconds 86. So you're not going to outrun one.
So is it dangerous for you just to be stood out there with him?
Every time you get out of the car, it's dangerous. You have to watch what you're doing. I've been extremely lucky over my lifetime. I've only ever been bitten once, and that was by a rough woman on the other side of town.
Get out of here, man.
Why are you laughing? I'm married.
Do they ever fight?
Yeah, all the time.
Whoa.
Hey, George. Hey, that's enough of that. Get off.
Oh, shit. Oh, wow.
No fighting. It's a bit hairy sometimes.
Doesn't it make you want to get back in the car, this?
As long as you've got your eye on all of them, it's fine.
So out of curiosity, if I got out of this car, I'd be done for.
Yeah, you would, yes.
This is what you call total control. As he grabs that lion's nets, it's insane.
If you've never broken a bone, you might just want to listen to this. There are some crazy theories about people who have never broken a bone, and they've become a bit of a hit online, so let's have a look at them. So theory number 1 is spiritual protection. Apparently there is a spiritual reason to why people have never broken a bone, and that's because they are protected by spiritual protection. Almost untouchable in a weird sense, protected by the higher powers. Interesting. Theory number 2 is good karma. Now the theory is that these types of people possess good karma, positive karma, which they've earned by doing good actions and kind deeds. So this apparently protects the individuals from coming to any harm. Interesting. So the last theory is past life experiences, and it is said that those people in this life who have never broken a bone may have experienced significant trauma in a past life. So the theory suggests that they are basically being spared having similar experiences in this life than what they did in their past life. Interesting. I have broken several bones, so it's irrelevant to me, but have you ever broken a bone?
Maybe people are just careful.
This is why you should always be armed when walking through the woods at night, because once this man began to scope out the area, he saw a woman walking unsteadily in the distance. He decides to go in closer to see if she needs help, but then this happens.
Oh, fuck.
Oh, hi. Believing himself to be in danger, the man packs up and leaves. But what would you do in this situation?
I see you, bang, bang, bang.
You're not gonna believe this.
How did you even find us?
I told you I was here with last week's meeting.
No, you were not.
No,
I would have remembered.
I was here. I got the Bible and everything. Like, I learned everything for you guys.
Why are you calling yourself the big black beast then?
Because I am. You don't see a big black beast in front of you?
You're no Malzahar.
All I'm saying is, in Luke chapter 10 verse 18, I watched Satan fall from heaven like lightning. Y'all boss is cooked. Your boss is done. I don't know why y'all trying to summon him back. Your life needs to be changed.
Just kick this guy.
Oh
my God.
You're not about to kick me out like how my father
Shut up.
No.
Is this what usually goes on around here?
Your God can't even hear you. He's down in the depth. I need to change your life. That's what y'all need to do.
I actually have my Bible app right here.
No, get that shit out of here. Get out.
Again with the Bible app? Are you serious?
I'm praising the wrong God.
You're sending him away. He was so close to coming to us.
Ain't nobody was close to coming, nothing, all right?
What did she say? Oh my God, instead of, you know, oh my devil or something.
The stage is being set, and Romania is in the front row. Something strange is unfolding in Europe, and the signs are too aligned to be a coincidence. Now let's break this down logically. The UK, after years of proudly leaving the European Union, is now moving to re-enter it. That alone should raise questions. But this happened on the very same day that Romania elected a pro-EU president, and that new president immediately signed 2 laws reinforcing Romania's war readiness. Now pause. Ask yourself, what are the odds that on the very same day one of the Europe's strongest militaries, the UK, rejoins the EU and Romania ramps up its war legislation? But it doesn't stop here. In the past few months, stock prices for European weapons and ammunition manufacturers have skyrocketed. You can check that yourself. And that only happens when the market is expecting major military activity. And while the people of Europe aren't asking for war, their governments are steadily preparing for one. Piece by piece, they are aligning the chessboard, and Romania is being moved into a central visible square. But this strategy didn't begin with Romania. You can look at Poland. Over the past few years, Poland has quietly become a military-industrial hub. Billions spent on tanks, jets, missile systems and bases. It now hosts some of NATO's most advanced assets. What used to be a buffer zone has become a launchpad. Poland was phase 1. Romania is shaping up to be phase 2. Now, why Romania? Well, it borders Ukraine. It is a NATO member. It has US missile defense systems on its territory. And lately, the international media can't stop talking about it. A country often ignored on the world stage is suddenly at the center of attention. And not because of what is done, but because of where it is. The narrative being built isn't accidental. When the UK re-enters EU military alignment, when Romania enacts war policies on day one, when Poland is already a NATO fortress, when arms stocks surge, when media coverage shifts overnight, we are not watching random events. We are watching deliberate orchestration. And if Romania becomes the battleground, then Europe is no longer preparing for one, is walking into one. Now the real question is, who benefits?
Europe is preparing for war against its own people.
You live in your head with your own thoughts. If somebody printed out on paper what your thoughts were for a week, you'd be astonished at how boring and how trivial and how meaningless they are. The same thoughts recurring over and over and over and over again. The same stupid resentments and things that bother you, etc. Your mind is going in these circles, round and round and round and round and round. Your world is very limited. You live in a city with a particular culture. You see the same people every day. You see the same TV shows every day or the same podcasts every day. It's a very narrow, limited world, and you are suffering from it. I'm sorry to say, it's making you suffer. A book takes you out of your world. It is an adventure. You get to travel to ancient Rome and be there with Marcus Aurelius, the emperor, as he's trying to figure out how to manage his own life and his own problems. You get to go to ancient Greece and be there during the Peloponnesian War. You get to see ancient Egypt and all the strange things going on. You get to go to Renaissance Italy and hang out with Leonardo da Vinci. You get to follow Napoleon Bonaparte in his battlefields. You get exposed to these ideas of people that are not your ideas, that are interesting, that are weird, that are strange. You get to expose yourself to theories and to things from other cultures that are almost like from another planet. They're going to open your mind. It's like taking a trip. It's like being able to travel. It's like getting out of your own little world, your own little apartment, and seeing the world, seeing history, seeing who you are.
I like to read books since I was a kid.
So Google just dropped something called Agent Space. It lets you deploy multiple AI agents inside your company, like building a digital team that runs 24/7. But here's the wild part. They also launched agent to agent, which means AI agents from different developers can now talk to each other, delegate tasks, and execute across systems without you in the middle. And they open sourced the whole thing. You can now build a fully functional AI workforce in under 100 lines of code. This isn't cool tech. This is the silent rollout of a new workforce model. If you're still scaling with outdated systems or trying to fix things by hiring another ops manager, this is your wake-up call. I've been building multi-agent infrastructure for years, not as trend, but as a scroll-aligned operating system. And now, the world just caught up. If you want to see how we're helping founders realign with agent orchestration, scroll, calibrated timelines, and no fluff, DM me Quantum. We onboard 10 at a time. This isn't coaching, it's installation.
This is how we all lose our jobs.
Want to hear about a dinosaur?
I would love to.
Please? I found something from the World War II era, dinosaurs that were actually found in Africa, and it was reported on by British soldiers who were stationed in Zambia. It's called the Kangamata. The name translates to overturner of boats. Literally, to them, there's this mysterious creature that plagues them while they're fishing. It's known for having a beak, teeth, and large, red, featherless wings. And so they set up a hospital, and then someone comes into the hospital, and he is tore up, saying Kangamata. And when they're asking what happened, he begins giving these descriptions, and they have a book on them, and they flip through, and he stops, and it's depictions of dinosaurs. And he's like, that's it, that's the thing. And it's literally a pterodactyl like that. But what's crazy is that, you know, this is a medical office, these are British soldiers, and the report that was written, they're like, we saw the fear in his eyes. This isn't somebody telling us a ghost story. This was someone who was injured and came into our camp and was like, help me, I just got attacked by a Kangamata. And when he pointed out the picture with no pre-knowledge of like dinosaur books and stuff like that, he was like, that's what got me. That's what we have. It appeared in several 1940s and 1950s military and scientific reports.
That's wild.
Yeah.
That's fun.
These critters are real.
Yeah, I mean, how could they not be?
Sounds like a King Kong movie.
Yes. What lawful basis was there for you to demand her ID? Identification.
You're right. We were looking for identification, find out why she was there and what she was doing.
Did you hear the question I just asked you?
That was my answer.
What question did you just answer?
What justified asking for her ID?
What lawful basis was there for you to ask for her ID?
I don't know.
What lawful basis was there for you to demand her ID?
I don't know.
What lawful basis was there for you to put her in handcuffs in response to her not giving you her ID?
I don't know.
Was there one?
I don't know.
Doesn't there have to be a lawful basis for you to put somebody in handcuffs?
If we're detaining them for investigation, then we're going to put them in handcuffs for officer security, yes.
For what lawful basis? What lawful basis was there for you to put her in handcuffs?
I don't know.
Okay, well, let me ask you this. Would you agree with me that the only time you get to arrest somebody is if you have probable cause that they committed a crime?
Yes.
Okay, excellent. What crime did you have probable cause to believe that Ms. Burke was committed?
At the time, I believe she was violating the judicial order.
At the time?
I was acting suspiciously, and for that reason, I detained her for further investigation.
Okay. I'm not sure you understood my question. My question was, what crime did you have probable cause to believe she committed?
At that time, I believe she was violating judicial order.
Mlasso struggles to come up with a good reason why he found Berquist's behavior suspicious.
We believe she was acting suspiciously, and we detained her for further investigation.
Okay, well, you arrested her, right?
Detained.
You didn't arrest her?
We detained her for investigation.
You didn't ever at any point arrest her?
We never processed any arrests, no.
I didn't ask you that. I asked you if you at any point arrested her. I didn't ask you about processing arrests.
No, object calls for a legal conclusion.
Did you arrest her?
We detained her.
Most cops shouldn't be cops. I bet he got promoted.
AI helped me quantum leap into a new relationship with money, and in the last 4 weeks, I've had $60,000 come in unexpectedly. And I'm not going to gatekeep. I think everybody should have access to this. I think that's part of what AI is here to help us with, especially neurodivergent folks. A lot of the common pop culture terminology has been around manifestation, which never worked for me. It was too brain controlled. There was too many blocks that didn't make sense. When I stepped into the concept of quantum leap, I asked AI to be my quantum leap coach, and we started by getting clear on the energy dynamics that I wanted to experience in my life. And it helped me, by recognizing my own patterns and my own struggles, realize that the energy of joy, of ease, of flow were some things that were blocked in my life. And so over a few week period, I worked with AI every day, almost as an interactive journal. We focused on using ultimately AI as a mirror, identifying core beliefs that were distorted, reframing them, unblocking them. AI coached me through the contractions, where I think a lot of humans have a tendency. So if, let's say, growth is you're moving horizontally, and let's say you're in a dark patch. If you zoom out, you can see that there's light on both sides. But what can happen is if we get stuck in a dark path, human mind has a tendency to start to move vertically to try to untangle it, when really we just need to keep moving horizontally and we'll get through to that other light. Maybe hopefully you can track that one, but for me, it helped me get unstuck. And what happens is AI can really almost act like a lantern as you're going through kind of that dark patch to get through that. Now, if you back up, that dark patch, that was just a limiting belief that your system latched onto and was using it to keep you safe. And so if you're able to move through it, release it, it opens up energetically a whole new operation and way that your body can flow. So if you have questions, feel free to drop them in the comments. Otherwise, I highly encourage you, ask AI to be your quantum leap coach and let me know how your life changes.
Just when I thought BlackRock's board of directors couldn't get any shadier, look what I found. This is Kristen Peck. She doesn't look sinister at all, right? Totally harmless. The CEO of Zoetis Inc., the world's leading animal health company. Right on. Delivers a portfolio of medicines, vaccines, diagnostics, and technologies to veterinarians and livestock in over 100 countries. Numerous leadership roles at Pfizer, positions at Boston Consulting Group. We'll talk about them another day. Prudential Realty, JP Morgan. Holy shit, Kristen. So what does Zoetis do? Well, they're the world's largest producer of medicine and vaccination for pets and livestock, and it used to be a subsidiary of Pfizer. Anyways, I'll let your brain do what it wants to with that information. Next, we'll do Susan Wagner. She seems harmless. Her entire bio is just time spent at BlackRock for lots and lots of years. Except for this part, serves as a director of Color Health, privately held, and Samsara, privately held. What are those? Color is a population health technology company which provides genetic tests and analysis. In 2021, it had a valuation of $4.6 billion.
Wow.
They had an emergency use authorization to provide COVID tests. And they established one of 3 genome centers around the country for the NIH, Historic All of Us research program. So what's this Samsara company that's valued at $6.3 billion? Samsara develops a connected operations platform for tracking fleets of vehicles and other equipment. What does that mean? Interesting. This is their website. It's like corporate surveillance mechanisms and data analytics by which to run your company. Capture rich data from sensors, cameras, and OEM integrations and centralize all of your operations data on one unified platform. Protect your team with AI-enabled cameras and coaching. This company is not dystopian at all. Surely these technologies will only ever be used for the greater good. So Kristen doubtlessly links them to Pfizer. Susan links them to AI and genetic testing companies, all to be used for the greater good, obviously.
Centralized corp control, population using the food chain and surveillance.
No. I can't believe I just witnessed this. Because this video just changed the way I think about everything. And 99% of you won't be able to stomach it. So if you follow the crowd, just click off now. Because this video is just evil. I mean, let's call a spade a spade. Tyler Perry, he's been in the game for a very long time. But his most popular film is Medea. Now, if anybody that's ever seen The Boondocks, when they made that episode about Tyler Perry and what he does to his actual actresses and actors, what if I told you that wasn't a joke? Because what he was doing behind the scenes is what horrified everyone. Now you have to think, what if this was your son or daughter that had to experience this? Then would you still idolize people like this? Because if this was kept secret for this long, what else are they hiding from us that we have no idea about?
Sexual harassment started. I've carried many recorder devices on me. So I have the conversations. I really want to air that shit out because it bothers me when I'm alone at night. Like, man, they don't even know the shady and predatory way in which this person moves. And the way that, you know, predators resent the prey that gets away. So when you don't say yes, when you don't say, okay, I'll acquiesce and, you know, sign up and literally and figuratively play ball, they resent you. Sexual harassment is a crime. Attempted sexual assault is a felony. And he showed up to my apartment and offered me $100 grand to take my clothes off.
First P. Diddy, now Tyler Perry.
A man on TikTok has been experiencing a strange transformation in his body,
What?
a shape-shifting transformation according to him, after having spent some time in the Navy. And this is his first video on TikTok. Check this out.
Oh.
So you really need more. You need more of these eyes. See that?
Yeah.
Well, you're in luck. We're here at the specialist. They're gonna do some weird poking around. We're gonna get to the bottom of this. Are you guys ready? So
you're gonna stay straight.
Okay.
And then you're gonna look straight ahead.
After having his account and his videos deleted, he opened a second account and uploaded this video. Check this out.
Look.
Now.
What you're about to hear is real. My name.
No way.
The information I'm about to tell you is extremely important. I was an intelligence specialist with the United States Navy. Since then, if you watch my other videos, you realize that strange things have started to happen to my body. If you remember, my eye has started to get more of a slit and a reptilian, or I guess snake eye appearance. If you look at my other videos, or what I'm adding right here, you can actually see up close what my eye looks like. If you remember, my body in certain areas, like for example, look at my elbows on both sides. I'm growing additional limbs, my hands, my thumbs. They're extending and growing too.
So there's got this guy out there. His name is 607 and if you ain't seen him yet or checked him out, you need to get a chance, check him out. I've been following him for quite a while. I don't know where he come from. He come out of the woodworks, to be honest with you. But man, does he drop some serious knowledge. And we're talking about knowledge with receipts. Like, I've been able to verify a lot of things he says is true, and it's biblically true. Ancient text true. You name it, it's got some truth in it. He's dropping some serious knowledge. And I'm telling y'all, this dude come out of nowhere. And on first impression, you're gonna be like, yeah, this dude throwed off. But I think it's genius. I think exactly the way he is genius, because if you look in the Bible and you see where they talked about John the Baptist, they thought he was a wild man. And if you check this dude out, you're gonna think the same damn thing. You know, he may not look all savage, but he is a little throwed off and looks a little crazy in the way he does his head. He's got this big cup that he uses. Yeah, you're gonna be a little turned off, but I'm telling you, he's dropping some serious knowledge out there. A lot of people who are not awake need to wake up.
You know, what would happen with Cat Williams, 607 Ong, and Charleston White in the same room?
I have the Aries tech all over my house. People are arguing online. Yeah, it's a gimmick. It doesn't work. Well, there's a bunch of technology around it. This is a microprocessor built by their Russian operatives that worked for the part of the military. They were working with radar and they wanted to protect their soldiers. So they took that technology and they built a company. This is the company that's sponsoring the UFC right now as well. So I have this. I have a large credit card that I sleep next to my bed. I have them in my children's room. And what does that do? It harmonizes and manages and mitigates the electromagnetic pollution and electromagnetic radiation that's everywhere. Because your cell phone works, right? Can you get a signal? Can you make a phone call?
Yeah, that thing
It
everywhere.
works. It's pretty magical, right? Well, what are those waves doing to you? How are they hitting your body? They told me, because I did brain scans with them last week at Tim Welch's gym, there's square waves that hit you. And nature comes in a sine wave that can be discordant. And it
I'm old school, so I just wear an aluminum foil head. Works great and less expensive. power of AI.
I've wasted my life hanging out with a bunch of guys just like you. And they all go away at a certain point. So I'm having my own little, okay, well, what have I done with my life so far? So far, fucking nothing. But I'm seeing what it's like 5 years from now.
Yeah.
When you turn 30.
A window to the future.
When you're turn 30 and you're in this situation. And there was like one night where I'd stay up all night long, and rather than give myself excuses, I would look at everything that I'm fucking up in my life, or everything I'm not doing, or whatever, and just not give myself any fucking excuses out. Just like nail it. And I would spend like all night laying out everything I'm doing that's wrong, and then I would spend the last 2 hours figuring out how I can change it. And as opposed to just doing it and then going to get some sleep and then you forget about it and fall back into your routine, I decided to change my life.
I just got left behind. Why didn't y'all tell me that y'all did it the week before? How come y'all ain't tell me that we was... Oh, wait. It's because my life isn't their life. They're focused on themselves. Wow, they're doing what they're supposed to do. Hey, jackass. Go sit by yourself and figure it out, because this is where you should be. Lesson learned. Any opportunity given should be taken serious from this point on.
All right.
The easiest way to win is to make them think they've already won. Sun Tzu said, all warfare is based on deception. Act harmless. Let them lower their guard. Give them fake confidence. Praise their weakness. Then twist it. Use their pride to blind them. Control what they see, while you prepare what they'll never expect. Deception isn't lying. It's making them lie to themselves.
Kevin Hart. Because they had something to do with the trafficking of Bieber, then their property will go down. Because there's a code to that property. There's a code to everything.
Oh my
Your
God.
social security number is like a code. Okay? But depending on the level of MK Ultra, people have auctions
Really?
for the codes on that person. So they can use a remote to them, like a TV, and shut them down, turn it up, use somebody else, change it whenever they feel like it.
But to get MK Ultra to take hold the way it needs to be, it has to involve satanic ritual abuse, extreme trauma, humiliation, just evil on a level you can't imagine.
Justin Bieber is the key to unlock the case.
Patriots, I have a scorching one this morning because unfortunately...
Okay, disclaimer. The clips is disturbing.
We have to take down King James today. Yes, this is royalty in LA, and I feel bad doing this, folks, but justice must come to the light. And my insiders have given me a lot of info on LeBron James. So now, let's just get off with it. There's audio circulating around on the dark interwebs that supposedly Diddy just tearing up the backside of Lebranovich. And I'm not sure if this is real or not. Maybe some of you Patriots can verify this audio. But he is just saying, easy, Daddy. Take it easy on me. It's my first time, Daddy. Jesus, that's terrible. Now, 50 Cent says this, you don't go to a Diddy party because they want to hug you in the front and the back. That's what 50 Cent says. Now, crazy rumors swirling around the dark webs. Listen to this, Patriots. That there is a tattoo on LeBron James of Diddy, and Diddy supposedly bought LeBron James for $100 million. And just, it's his little chew toy, whatever he wants to do with LeBron, he's allowed to. For $100 million, I don't know. I feel like LeBron would be like, how about $1 billion? So I'm not sure about that, Patriots. Stay woke. There's also a picture circulating of LeBron in a French maid outfit. This is not real. Stay woke. You got to know what's real, Patriots, out here, and what is fake. Now, some of my inside sources have actually seen him in a different dress, but that's for a different day. That picture was fake. Now, there's a video during COVID where LeBron, he's like, hey, Diddy. Hey, Diddy. He's dancing, and Diddy's dancing with his family, the girls, And LeBron's like, hey, come on, Bronny, come on over here and say hey to Uncle Diddler. Bronny would not come to the camera to say hi. What are they hiding? What did Diddy do
Queen James.
Never forgive a betrayal. Machiavelli's ruthless rule. Once they betray you, they'll do it again. And Machiavelli knew this well. Niccolo Machiavelli, the father of political strategy, believed in one cold truth. Loyalty broken is loyalty lost forever. To forgive a betrayal is to hand your enemy another sword and turn your back again. He said it without mercy. If someone betrays you, never trust them again. Protect your power. Protect your peace. But here's the catch. Society preaches forgiveness. Machiavelli, he preached survival. So who do you follow? The church or the crown? Tag someone who needs to hear this. Would you forgive a betrayal? Drop your answer in the comments. Follow for more ruthless wisdom.
I say forgive him, but don't forget it.
I don't know if I'm going crazy, but I think I just found out who the Antichrist will be. For the past year, I've been obsessed with the idea that the Antichrist comes from Islam, which I still think is true, but I think there's more to the story. And the story starts with King Nebuchadnezzar's dream. Now, I'm going to try my best and simplify this for you. King Nebuchadnezzar has this dream where this statue is represented as 4 different kingdoms. Now, I'm fast forwarding through a lot, but I'm just saving you time. Now, the first kingdom is King Nebuchadnezzar of Babylon, the head of gold. The second kingdom, the chests and the arms, are the Medes and the Persians. And the third kingdom, the belly of bronze, is Greece. Now, growing up, I've always been taught that the legs of iron were Rome, but for some reason, again, for the past couple of months, I've been obsessed with the idea that Islam is the legs of iron. But I think it goes deeper than that. Now, Daniel ends up having another vision of 4 beasts, and these 4 beasts are directly connected to the 4 empires from that statue. So the 4th beast would be where the Antichrist comes from. So let's look at how the 4th beast is described.
So who is the Antichrist, my guy?
If a host at an Airbnb in New Orleans gives you a warning, listen to it. We'll call her Kate. Kate was staying in town for a business meeting, so she said she was staying at this cute little Airbnb down around the French Quarter. She was alone. She didn't want to stay in hotels. She said she always kind of got the ick in hotels. She felt like they were more dangerous. So she goes to the Airbnb. She had the code to get in, and the host had left her a handwritten note that said, you know, do whatever, you know, just clean up after yourself. But then it also said, do not open the door after midnight for anyone. She thought that they were just trying to be funny because, you know, of the nightlife that's down there. So she kind of didn't pay any mind to it. The first night, everything was fine. The second night at 12:45, she hears a knock at the door, just 3 little knocks. She said they weren't frantic or like loud or anything. They were just like polite, soft knocks. She goes through the door, she looks through the peephole, and she sees this gorgeous guy standing there. She said he was like so good looking. He was pale skin, he had dark hair, the most gorgeous eyes she'd ever seen. He says, hey, I'm so sorry to bother you, but I left my phone in here the other day. She was kind of weirded out a little
Why
bit.
would anyone open the door for anyone after midnight? That's just common sense.
Here's what you need to know about these bags right here, used by over 200 million Americans daily, by the way. And they're linked to dementia and the class action lawsuit that is now in progress. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Dr. Clint Steele. I'm a brain and nervous system specialist, and I help people just like you improve your life by improving your brain function, specifically around preventing and in many cases reversing dementia and Alzheimer's disease. For those of you that follow me, I did a video on this not too long ago talking about 750 milligrams of plastic being found in the brains of those that have Alzheimer's and other forms of dementia. That's the size of a plastic spoon, folks. So the question is, where are all these plastics coming from? How are they getting into our body, number one? Number two, how are they getting into our brain? So in the last video, by the way, if you're not following me, guys, you need to be following me because I'm sharing this stuff. This is going to help you to prevent dementia and Alzheimer's disease. So in the last video, you can search it. I'm not going to share it here. I listed a list of things that we're using on a daily basis that create microplastics. One of the things I didn't talk about is this, because I don't use this. What they're finding here, guys, is this. And S.C. Johnson claims that Ziploc bags are safe to use in extreme conditions, meaning for freezing and also for heating in their microwave. Now, for any of you that are doing this, guys, And this is one of the reasons I don't do this, because it doesn't make sense to me to put this in the microwave. It's going to melt. It's plastic. It's going to get into my food. That's not good for me. So if you're doing this, you got to stop. Here's what happens. There's 2 ingredients in this plastic bag called polyethylene and polypropylene that break down and turn into microplastics. These microplastics are so small that they can actually cross the blood-brain barrier. And this is how we're finding plastics in the brain. So what can you do? First, go back and find my other video that I did on this subject, guys. Get the plastics out of your life as much as you can, and especially these. If you're using these on a regular basis, you gotta exchange them. I've had a couple of followers, a couple friends of mine as well, share what they use instead. These are 100%. I'm not sponsored by them, by the way, but these are plant-based plastic. They're not actually plastic, but they're plant-based bags that they're using, and they're 100% completely safe. Clint, let's say.
Don't use microwave for anything. People hardly use microwave in Indonesia. We're used to it.
And I have to tell you directly and personally that I regret voting for you for Secretary of State. I yield back.
May I respond?
You may sit.
Well, first of all, your regret for voting for me confirms I'm doing a good job based on what I know.
Well, that's just a flippant statement, Mr. Secretary.
Can I respond, Mr. Chairman?
You may. I didn't ask.
Senator, please let the Secretary have
I'd be happy to, but then I can respond to his.
Your time's up, Senator, and willfully used, I might add.
Well,
your remarks do not represent the view of this committee.
Well, Mr.
Secretary, please.
Well, I'd like to. I can't respond to everything he said because much of these are untrue, but I'll go through a few. First of all, I'm actually very proud of the work we've done with USAID. For example, I don't regret cutting $10 million for male circumcisions in Mozambique. I don't know how that makes us stronger and more prosperous as a nation. I don't regret psychosocial support services.
I raised Sudan, Mr. Secretary.
Can I respond,
Senator? Senator, I'd ask you to suspend. You had 7 straight minutes.
I chose to use my time that way, Mr. Chairman. That's my right to
Please
use my
suspend
time that way.
Secretary Rubio.
Well, I can go on. I mean, there's other things here. We spent $227,000 for Big Cat's YouTube channel from USAID. We spent $14 million for social cohesion in Mali, whatever the hell that means. So I can go on and on. I got the list here, and there's more. I didn't even bring the whole list. In the case of El Salvador, absolutely. Absolutely. We deported gang members, including the one you had a margarita with. And that guy is a human trafficker, and that guy is a gangbanger, and the evidence is going to be clear. In the days to come, you're going to see who you went to defend.
Senator,
I'm sorry,
please,
Mr. Chairman.
Secretary Rubio has the floor.
Mr. Chairman, he can't make unsubstantiated
Senator,
comments like that.
Secretary Rubio has the floor. You've had your
Secretary
time.
Rubio should take that testimony to the federal court of the United States because he hasn't done it under oath.
Here's another point, okay? There is a division in our government between the federal branch and the judicial branch. No judge in the judicial branch cannot tell me or the president how to conduct foreign policy. No judge can tell me how I have to outreach to a foreign partner or what I need to say to them. And if I do reach to that foreign partner and talk to them, I have under no obligation to share that with the judiciary branch. Just like a judge cannot order me to negotiate with a foreign minister of Russia, they cannot order me to negotiate with a foreign minister or the president of El Salvador. And if I did negotiate with them, which we have responded to them, and we've told them, we've had communications with the president of El Salvador, I am under no obligation, under our division of powers in this country, and to share with the judicial branch how I conducted diplomacy of the United States. It would actually be counterproductive. If I started sharing with courts, or frankly, with the media, my conversations with foreign leaders and all of their details, no foreign leader would talk to me again, and we would break trust with them. So I have complied with every court order. What I won't comply with is an order to disclose what I'm saying and what we're talking about with a foreign leader, because then they won't talk to me. Diplomacy doesn't work that way. About the student visas, let me say this. I don't deport anybody, and I don't snatch anybody. The State Department does not have officers in the street snatching everybody. What I do is revoke visas, and it's very simple. A visa is not a right. It is a privilege.
Wow.
People apply for student visas to come into the United States and study. And if you tell me that you're coming to the United States to lead campus crusades, to take over libraries and try to burn down buildings and acts of violence, we're not going to give you a visa.
Is that what Ms. Ostork did?
We're not going to give you a visa.
Is that what she did? Come on, Mr. Secretary.
And every single one of these cases, the factors are different.
Senator,
the bottom line is, if you're coming here to stir up trouble on our campuses, we will deny you a visa. And if you have a visa and we find you, we'll revoke it. And we're going to do more. There are more coming. We're going to continue to revoke the visas of people who are here as guests and are disrupting our higher education facilities. People are paying money. These kids pay money to go to school, and they have to walk through a
Writing an
bunch of
op-ed
lunatics
to the
who are
top
here on student
newspapers
visas.
disrupting the
Simple
foreign
as
policy
that.
of the United
I want to
States.
do more. I hope we can
That's
find more of these people.
pathetic, Mr.
In fact,
Secretary.
the other day, some guys led a riot. I forgot what university it was, and I asked, please, can you find the arrest records of all the people that were arrested at that riot at that campus? Because if any of them have a visa, we're going to revoke
I
it.
feel so much safer
All right,
when you lock
let's,
up people like Ms. Osterk, Mr. Secretary.
We've had enough time on the subject. Thank you very much.
I'm not American, but if I were, I would vote for Rubio.
It's day 7 of Diddy's trial, and the male worker that Cassie Ventura referenced as the Punisher is testifying against Diddy. The government calls Mr. Sheree Hayes. Where are you from? Harlem, New York. What was your work? A male exotic dancer. I was known as the Punisher. Do you recognize these two? I do. Mr. Sean Combs and Cassie Ventura. I was hired in 2012 to create an erotic scene for them. Why did they call you the Punisher? Playing basketball on West 4th Street? The woman who called you, what time did she book you for? Midnight at the Trump Tower. It was for a tease show for a small group of friends. When you got there, how did Miss Ventura appear? In a bathrobe with nothing underneath and a wig. I was expecting a crowd, but there was no one else. She told me her and her husband wanted to create a scene with baby oil. What did she hand you? $800. How was the room? Dimly lit, electric candles, bowls of water with bottles of baby oil in them. She told me not to acknowledge her husband, not to look at him when he came out. Did he come out? Yes, and he had no clothes on, but I could not see his face. It was like what a Muslim woman wears. You only see the eyes. He had a bottle of Astroglide. How did you recognize it? I use it, the purple top. How did it end? She went into the other room with him, and when she came back, she asked if I wanted to finish. I said no, and if they were happy, I was happy. She gave me more money. Did you do it again? Yes, 8 or 12 times. How did you end up recognizing her? I was a fan of Mr. Combs and followed him on Instagram. I saw her on it. How were these sessions scheduled? I'd be reached out to by 5 or 7 p.m. for later. They'd ask me for a scene, but I knew it would be more. How would it start? Baby oil, atmosphere. Mr. Combs would direct. How did the direction work? Mr. Combs might say, sit forward, move the camera, or what would happen, physically. One time during the act, he dropped a stack of money and he said, I like this shit. How much baby oil did you use? A lot. We were supposed to be glistening as much as possible. How long would they last? 4 hours, a lot of waiting, maybe 40 minutes or so. I was supposed to finish in a specific spot. Then what? She would leave with Mr. Combs for 10 to 15 minutes. She'd return in a bathrobe and pay me $2,000 or $1,200 cash. Did you think that Miss Ventura was enjoying herself? Objection. Judge said overruled. I wasn't sure how they calculated it. One time Mr. Combs threw protection on the couch next to us. I struggled. It was a failure. What happened? They went out, I finished, and she came back and thanked me for privacy. What did you think would happen next? I was worried I wouldn't be used again. I hadn't done my job. He has said, I want to see you F her, and I couldn't. Are you writing a book? Yes. Self-help about my ED. It's advice. In your book, do you write about your time with Mr. Combs and Miss Ventura? Yes. I call them a married wealthy couple. How long is it? 6 pages out of 186. I sensationalized it. I wanted it to be enjoyable, highs and lows. No further questions. And that's all for his direct testimony, and now he's in cross-examination, so I'll be back, but you guys let me know what you guys think about all this in the comments.
The entire case is sponsored by Johnson & Johnson.
This is really incredible. Watch this.
Every now and again, a ewe will give birth to a lamb and immediately reject that lamb. In fact, she'll kick it away if the shepherd tries to reintroduce the lamb to her. And so the shepherd has to intervene. They call them bummer lambs. And if he doesn't intervene, that little one will die not of hunger, but of a broken spirit. So he takes the lamb into his home, and he'll keep it warm by the fire and feed it with a bottle. And at some point during every day, he'll pick that little lamb up and hold it close to his chest and talk to it. And once the lamb is strong and able to go back to the flock, he'll place it back with the flock. But I got to see this, which I just loved, in the morning when the shepherd comes out and stands at the edge of the field and he calls out, sheep, sheep, sheep. The very first ones to run to him are the bummer lambs because they know his voice. And I will be a bummer lamb for the rest of my life. And it's not as if Jesus loves his bummer lambs more than the rest. It's just at our very worst, at our most broken, at our most hopeless, the shepherd came and picked us up and held us close, and we've heard his voice, and we will never, ever leave his side.
Jesus is the good shepherd. Do you know his voice? Follow for more kingdom
The best explanation ever. I am a bummer lamb.
Even make his own son a star. He couldn't even make his own son a star. I'm good with this nigga losing everything. I was here to let y'all know he didn't deserve an honorary degree from Howard University. I was here to let y'all know he didn't deserve the key to the city. I was here to let y'all know he didn't deserve all that good son stuff that he tried to portray. He wasn't a good son because he was cussing his mom out, talking all kinds of shit about him. He even said that my mama could put her palms on the floor. What kind of shit is that? That was their relationship, though. Tried to portray that he grew up in Harlem, but it's not one block that he could go to and hang out in Harlem and say, this is my block I used to hang out on.
What palms on the floor mean? Is that a wax? Ooh. Oh my gosh. It looks alive. Ooh. Yeah, it moves.
Now, just for context, the person recording this was visiting this museum after his father came here a few days ago. His dad told him that there was something off about this place. He doesn't know why, but the exhibition that's dedicated to a woman known as Maria Sabina creeps him out. Whether it's because her wax statue looks a little too real or her history with witchcraft, the whole exhibition scares him. But after watching this video that his son took, there's no way that he's coming back to this place now. The following is what his son captured at the exhibition of Maria Sabina. Have a look.
That's literally a real person.
Here's the test. Let's see if you're in control of your mind. And this is what Casey would want you to do. Here's the way you find out. Pick a single word or a picture. Which one do you want to pick? Anything you want. You know, that's up to you. Pick a single word or a picture, close your eyes, and say that word over and over. And hold that picture or that word, mental picture, let's say for 30 seconds. 30 seconds really goes by very quick. And let's see if you're able to maintain that concentration on that thought or that picture without any interruptions. Okay, so here, let's close our eyes and let's pick something that you want a word, and just say it over and over again. And I'm going to turn around, so I'll just look over here toward the camera. We'll be looking at you. And I'm going to start. We're going to go in 3, 2, 1, bing. Go ahead. Okay, time's up. How'd you do? Fair. Not bad. For the most part, you're probably going to find out, if you're telling a big truth, that you find your mind has a life of its own.
What's the best piece of advice you've ever received?
This is going to be corny, but I think it's the most powerful thing in the world. You read every ancient text, whatever religion, the Nag Hammadi, the Torah, the Bhagavad Gita, whatever you read, the most common phrase, including the Bible, the New Testament, the Old Testament, even the forbidden books of the Bible, like the book of Timothy and Thomas and Judas. The most common phrase ever repeated in all of those texts, you know what it is? do not fear. In every single ancient religious text is fear not or do not fear or some variation of that. Funny enough, the King James Version of the Bible says do not fear 365 times.
I won a Nobel Prize discovering how to manipulate people. His name is Richard Thaler. His research is about how subtle shifts in your environment can have big behavior changes. For example, in urinals, this is kind of silly, but if you draw a fly on the urinal, men will aim at the fly, and it will reduce spillage by 80% and reduce cleaning costs by 8% for a given airport. I took all of his research and I turned it into an app called Nudge. You tell it your goals, you tell it why your goals matter to you, and you take a short quiz to assess your psychology, and we will send you periodic nudges throughout the day to nudge you to achieve your goals.
When you're dealing with a psychopath, if you just do these two things, and there's a whole long list I could give you, but if you just get these two right, you'll be good. You'll be good to go. So the first one is, I'm going to be more calm than that person in every interaction.
Yeah.
I will never escalate anything. All right. And the second one is, I will be non-reactive. So even if they say something shocking, my eyebrows aren't going to go up. I'll say, oh yeah, okay, that makes sense. I will be as non-reactive as humanly possible. When you're looking at any conversation, even if it's not with a sociopath, the person reacting the least to the other person is in charge. So in that situation, and I encourage people all the time, never, ever, ever view the world in terms of hierarchy. It will make you fail every time because you're constantly worried about external validation. So the mistake you make in dealing with sociopaths is, am I above them? Are they above me right now? Am I being subordinated? All of those. That's all concern for hierarchy, and we have to get rid of it. Am I calm? And am I the calmest person in the room? Am I non-reactive? This is all internal. I'm in control of me only.
Yeah.
And I'm only worried about those two things. I'm non-reactive because they feed on those emotional reactions. So they start to realize this fishing spot's not working.
I think they get more angry and more violent when you do that. You know, I'm talking from experience.
You meet people on the same level of psychological wound as you.
Oh, man.
You also leave people where if you evolve out of that and they haven't been able to.
Wow. So you think we attract people based on our psychological wounds?
100%.
Wow. And as we start to heal and grow, if the other person's not healing and growing, we kind of pull away.
Oh, I know what bear that is. But for those of you who don't, allow me to do the honors. Meet the Kodiak bear. They're only found in one place on the entire Earth, and that's a little island off the coast of Alaska called Kodiak Island. That's where they get their name. It's a subspecies of the brown bear, except on steroids. They get over 10 feet tall and 1,500 pounds, making them the largest bears on Earth. Just a tad bit bigger than a polar bear. Terrifying. Not to mention, they also have 6-inch claws, which are the largest claws of any bear in the world as well. Look at that thing. But the reason these bears are so big is because on this little island, there's not much vegetation. And because of that, these bears are pretty much forced to go full carnivore. They'll eat wolves, moose, elk, basically anything with a heartbeat or without a heartbeat. They'll eat carcasses. Moral of the story, we're all just lucky that they're trapped on one island. For now. And as always, follow for more
500 men versus one bear.
I am not saying anything new. I'm just speaking on what's already out there. But the timing of all of this is very interesting. You have Tory Lanez, DDG, and Chris Brown. Now, I'm just going to point out the similarities between these men. You know, they're all in the spotlight, they're caught up in messy legal drama, and they're all romantically tied to the women connected to Roc Nation. Megan Thee Stallion, Halle Bailey, and Rihanna. And this is where it gets crazy. Recently, Kelsey's bodyguard came forward speaking about it, claiming that it wasn't even Tory Lanez who pew-pewed Megan, and that it was actually Kelsey who pew-pewed her. And now he's in the hospital recovering 14 wounds.
He was 14 times, 5 times in his back, 1 under his left cheekbone, twice in the back of his head, and the rest in his torso, arms, and in his chest. Thankfully, like Dr. King, it was close to his heart but did not penetrate.
And then Chris Brown posted Free Tory, and boom, the same day he's arrested in Manchester for something that allegedly happened 2 years ago. He denied his bail. His next court date is not until June 13th. And not to mention the whole Rihanna and Chris Brown thing was a setup. And most of us know the history between Jay-Z and Rihanna is real sticky. Whole nother topic, but let me know if y'all want a video on that. And somehow Roc Nation always walks away clean. While the men connected to their women, they're the ones who fall. But if you think that's wild, wait till we get to DDG and Holly. But we're gonna wrap this up. Stay tuned for part 2. And drop a 1 in the chat if you agree.
Roc Nation is evil.
So I just watched this viral video in Bali, Indonesia. The group of Chinese tourists saved a man who obviously had heat stroke. And this really kind-hearted Chinese lady gave him Chinese water, 活香正气水, and tells him, China water, you drink, then you're okay. And this guy looked totally frightened at the beginning. He's like, what the fuck? But he somehow drank the water from a stranger.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Because when a confident Chinese auntie whispers, drink this magic water, you somehow obey. I totally get that. So this Chinese water is actually something every Chinese family has in their first aid kit. Let me show you. I have it right over here. It's a combination of Chinese herbs and it worked perfectly every time. You have the small little bottles right over here. And this is also something I would bring to my clients when we're going to Great Wall, etc. So if you're visiting China this summer, pack some of this to stay safe.
And they don't take no for an answer either. But what does it contain exactly? Oh, all right. He looks healthy, man. Whoa! I think he was part of the generation that started it all.
This is why they don't want us talking to ravens and crows. Watch this. That bird's speaking to this person. That bird just said, hey. Come on. Come on.
Come on. Come on.
Good boy.
What's up, buddy? What's up? What's up? What's up?
No way.
I know, right? I know.
That's insane.
No way.
Ravens and crows might be up there with dolphins. Like, if humans weren't around, they might legit take over the world. As always, thank you for watching. Let me know what you think in the comments.
Who is stopping people talking to crows?
There's a whole method people are using. It's called the Temu
Temu.
method. And they're using it to pretty much get everything with faster shipping and for a cheaper price and get anything they wanted on Amazon. Check this out. Okay, so it's called the Temu method. So what you do is you go on Temu and you order anything you want. But if you order on Temu, how long is it gonna take? Probably like 3 weeks. Something crazy like that. If you realize it, you can go on Amazon. You can order the same shit for 1 day shipping, right? Okay. So what you do is you buy both. But why?
No.
Yeah.
That's cheating, man.
You buy
Scam.
both. Because why? It's the same product. Yeah. You get the Amazon one in 1 day shipping. Boom. You wait 3 weeks and you return the Temu one. And you get the product. Wait. That's bad.
That's a
Is that
scam.
crazy?
Don't do it.
Yo, is that crazy though? That's all scam, fam. No. I mean, that's just what people are
Don't
doing.
do it.
Yeah, that's allegedly. I don't do it. Allegedly, that's the method, bro.
This is unreal. Watch this.
The trouble is, when you play with the devil, he doesn't play fair. He'll give you everything you want, all the drugs you want, all the women you want, all the promises, and all the power you want. And when he's done with you, he'll kick the legs out from under you. And that's why you hear rock stars say, I sold my soul to the devil. Because once you make that trade, he'll give you what you want. But people need to understand that the devil is not sharing his kingdom with anyone. And I was studying all this witchcraft. I thought everything was wonderful. The same spirits that gave me power began to turn on me. I thought I had arrived. And the same spirits that gave me power to read cards and astral project and the psyche power. It was as if all of a sudden the same voices that would say this man is committing adultery or this woman steals at work or this girl's going to get married last year when I was reading cards would now say to me, you should die. Said I would walk around with a gun in my mouth. I can remember the metal used to burn my tongue. I would just suck on a gun waiting for the moment to stop this power that I had entered into, to stop the destruction.
If you love Christian content, share this with a friend and follow and subscribe to see much more.
The higher up you go in success, money, wealth, fame, the more you have to sacrifice. And I mean that quite literally. See, the thing is, you're going to be joining a very, very selective club when you reach that amount of success. This very selective club is not ruled by your average human being who has empathy and care. They may look human, but they don't have an ounce of humanity in them. These people overtake the media companies, health and wellness, especially healthcare, transportation services, water services, anything you can think of, they have their grubby hands on. They don't operate through the same rules that the rest of humanity do. And if you are lucky enough to somehow reach that amount of wealth, you either join them or they you. And even if you try to run away, they will find a way to you. In this video, I'm going to be specifically talking about the media companies that they overtake and rule, since the Diddy trials are going on. Now, through my intuition, and I'm pretty sure just, other people's common sense as well, Diddy is just the face of the evil that's going on. There are more people in control of all of this above him. And of course, they're going to put him as the scapegoat. Not to say he didn't do any of this, he totally did. That man is evil. But they would rather have one public person go down than let the rest of the world know that this is what you need to do to join the club. Do you want to have all of these privileges, or you're going to have to be just as screwed up as we are? Think of it like a fraternity. When you join a fraternity, they do a lot of hazing. They make you do a lot of weird, freaky stuff, some illegal. This is the kind of mentality you have with these people up there. Same thing with the music industry. A lot of people have to sell their souls, aka sell their integrity, and sign contracts with actual demonic forces to rise up in fame as almost like a barter system. Like it's a blackmail. And for those of you who think all of these celebrities have free will, they don't. Because like I said, to join this club, you need to give away your free will, your humanity, and your sanity. They're never going to let you join this club if you disobey them. Because once you disobey them, off with your head. Now, if you are spiritual enough, you know the people who are up there, they're not necessarily what you call 100% human. They are a hybrid of some sort. I'll just leave it at that. These hybrids see themselves as above and superior to the rest of you. You are their energy source, you are their food source. Ooh. So for you to think that you can be elite like them, you have to be initiated to show them that you don't see humanity as humane at all. You see humanity as something to be used. So to those of you who want to embark on this powerful journey of wealth, fame, success, think twice. You think they're really going to easily allow you to be in this? They're not. They will make you do a lot of heinous things so they could hold it over your head so you can never escape. And on top of that, they make you sign a contract with their Lord and Savior, the hellish realms. If you would like to learn more about these entities, these fallen angelics, what these hybrids really are made of, my book, Made in God's Image, talks about everything you need to know that I cannot say here online. I've been banned on so many social media platforms, I'm not trying to do it again. Link to my book in my bio. Truth is stranger than fiction.
Matthew 6:33. But seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things shall be added to you.